What's going on, guys? Nick Dark here. This is going to be another video for our full chart breakdown series, and this time we're going to be covering NZDJPY. All right, so we're going to do a full chart breakdown, full top-down analysis. I'm going to walk you guys through pretty much exactly how I set up a chart and start looking for trade opportunities. All right, so first thing I want to do is remove my MAs, and if you have any other indicators, remove them as well. We want to clean up the chart, start on the highest time frame here, the monthly time frame. And now what I'm going to do is move over to the line chart. Okay, so all I want to see is this line chart, nothing else. And now from this point, I want to start identifying support and resistance. The higher time frame support and resistance naturally because we're on the monthly. So I want to find the most significant levels on this particular chart for this pair. Okay, so here we go. Let's start looking at some levels. This one looks pretty good, right at 83 flat. Okay, let's see if this makes sense. Back to the candlestick chart. So I'm choosing this area because I see a lot of rejection from both sides of the market. Okay, so back to the line chart. I'll show what I mean. Price action reacts here, here again, here, and then down here a bunch of times as well. So it's an area of significance because every time that we can see price action reaches this level, we'll see some sort of reaction. All right, so this level looks pretty good. Let's find one more. And let's see where this one's at. This one looks pretty good right here, 73 flat. So in this scenario, it's a coincidence that we're just split by exactly, whoops, that was not what I meant to do at all. Okay, we're split by exactly 1,000 pips. So that's good. This is a good range. Let's double check on the candlestick chart. Reacts here again. Bit of a fake out, goes way past. Reacted here a bunch of times, here again, broke through, then reacted as resistance. All right, so those are some good levels. So now that we have our first range here, we want to measure it. We already know it's 1,000 pips, but it's not always going to be that even. So what we want to do now is find our next zones. So we got the range for this chart. Now we're going to place some more levels. 63 flat. Again, this one's super easy to kind of find the zones because it's so even. It's like 1,000 even, so that'd be 63. Next zone's going to be 53. Okay. Again, it doesn't always work out this evenly. Sometimes it'll be a 1,200 pip spread, 1,100, 1,150, whatever. But something that I like to do that's, you know, kind of special for the way that I set up a chart is I like these whole numbers. So 83 flat, 73 flat. I like rounding off to, you know, the most significant round number as it applies because, you know, it's a psychological level. There's more to it than it just being a number on a chart at that point. A lot of institutions place, you know, orders at key psychological levels. So a nice monthly zone, let's say, at 83, there could be a ton of sell orders sitting there. And also, you know, it's just round numbers just have that psychological aspect to it. It's a nice round number. We're expecting some sort of, you know, resistance or support or reaction. So that's why I do it. It's just another, you know, it also helps for the reasoning because if you get too specific, like 73.55, price action is not going to stop to the exact pip. It's more so an area where you can expect a reaction. So around 73, the area is where I'm expecting some sort of reaction. Again, because like, look, it doesn't stop to the pip. You're getting wicks through that. It's a good amount below. Body closure isn't exactly at the pip as well. Sometimes it blows past it, but it's more so in, you know, again, to the area where we can expect something to happen. So yeah, that's just another reason why I use that. All right, back to the line chart. Let's get one more zone in here, and then what we're going to do is split these levels. So this one's easy again, 93, 1,000 pips, makes it super simple. And that's our last monthly zone. Okay, let's get rid of the range. Back to the candlestick chart. Does it make sense? Yep, we had a reaction here. Here again. We don't have any tested support because this was the all-time high, but that's okay. We know the range is consistent throughout this chart. So now what do we want to do? We want to split these zones. Okay, so again, 1,000 pips. Get the range on it, and then we're going to split it for the weekly. So we're looking at 88 in this one, weekly. Okay, next one, 78. Again, this one makes it it's super easy because this one's 1,000. So make this weekly. The range is 1,000. dozen pips. All right, so 78, that makes sense. Look, lots of rejection there. Here again, held very well. Bit of an overlap, tested resistance there. Here again, all through here, and so on and so on, okay? So let's keep doing that. Let's finish this up. 68, and then we'll move on to the next step in our analysis, okay? And 58. Weekly. All right, so what you want to do now is just a quick quick review, see if everything makes sense, see if all these levels are holding, especially the ones you just placed this weekly. Looks to be good here, looks to be good here. Tested a support here. Okay, weekly zones, rejection, good, good, good. Yeah, so this looks good. So once you're happy with it, it may look like a lot of zones or like a lot of levels. You could get rid of some that are not, near current price action. So like, this monthly up here, this weekly, you could technically get rid of. Even this monthly down here, just for the sake of cleaning up your chart. But it'll also get more clear as we drop down time frames and these zones seemingly get further apart, okay? So last thing I like to do on the monthly time frame is highlight the zones that look to be the most significant, where we've seen, pretty strong transitions. So right here is one. And by transition, I mean a break of support or break of resistance, change of trend. So here we saw a break of support, turn resistance, confirm resistance, and then drop. So this is a big transition in this monthly zone. That's why I'm highlighting it. This zone had a lot of significance for this giant bearish trend. Okay, so there's one more zone here that I like. It's this one right here. Massive support that was finally broken and then tested as resistance. Right there. Okay, looks pretty good. All right, so now we want to drop down to a weekly time frame, and we're going to try and highlight some trends here. See if we see any patterns. Don't force anything. If something looks good here, mark it up. If not, not a problem. Drop to the daily then. But I see a bit of a nice channel here. Nice little channel here. So I'm going to highlight this. Bring this to our attention. And we'll just copy this one more time. Highlight the channel down here. Okay. So very, very bearish, as we can see. We recently saw this monthly transition take place. So that's good. Very, very bearish. Okay, you could technically throw a fib on this, but it would only be from here to here. So it's more of a daily fib. We want to just measure this move from the high to the low. Okay, pulled back to the 88.6. Now we're testing this resistance again. So from this point, this was all Corona related too, this huge spike to the downside. All right, so from this point, we don't really see any patterns. All we can see is a channel and current price action. So let's zoom in a little bit more. Go to the daily time frame. Okay, let's expand this, kind of clean it up, bring in these fibs a little bit. Where's our 0%? Okay, let's bring this over. Okay. All right, let's zoom in a little more, expand this. All right, so this is still very much bearish. Very, very bearish. I do see a pattern forming over here. It looks like a larger ascending triangle. Something like this right here. Let's bring this over a little bit more. It's very wide, this one. Let's see it right about here at 71.5 is a zone I like. 71.5, 71.5. Okay, so you guys see it? Bit of an ascending triangle. Key resistance being right here at 71.5. And then we're getting some higher lows. All right, so we'll get to that in a second. That was the first thing I saw off the bat. We are bullish on this 4-hour trend here. Once we broke here, we see that this went bullish, right? It broke out, gave us a little retest here, and then kind of took off. So that lower time frame is bullish. However, if we zoom out, look at the daily trend, we're very much bearish. So we're bearish until we see this monthly zone break. This is where our last significant lower high was before this Corona drop. So in order to look at long opportunities here, even though this is a 4-hour bullish trend, I want to wait. I want to see a break above this with a higher low. Let me pull these fibs over. Okay, I want to see a higher low above this monthly zone before we get into any sort of long opportunity. Okay, so something like this. Then you could target higher towards, you know, key fib levels and key resistance. All right, so something like that. I'm gonna make this orange because this is not the preferred trade path. All right, okay, cool. So this is looking good. That's what needs to happen for us to go long. That's what we can identify in the daily time frame here. And then we're gonna drop to the 4 hour, get a closer look at this ascending triangle, and understand what needs to happen for us to see a good potential short opportunity. Because again, we're trend trading here. This is very much bearish until we see that transition. So we're not going to get ahead of ourselves and, you know, try and, you know, see the future here. We're not going to try and anticipate a break because we don't know if it's going to happen or not yet. What we do know is that there's more bearish momentum than anything else. The trend is bearish. So the first thing we want to do is, you know, continue with that trend. We're going to look for, you know, bearish opportunities. All right. So let's go ahead and drop to that 4 hour and see what we can identify. I do want to bring these fibs over just so we can see them a little better. Give me 1 second. Bring these fibs over like so. Okay, now we can expand this. Get a closer look at this triangle pattern. This is a pretty big pattern, actually. Okay, so here we are. This looks like this is a major zone on this time frame right here. Let's just line this off to start, right at the 78.6. And I'm calling this a significant area because we were getting lower highs. Lower highs here, 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 and then price action broke it. So it actually broke this lower high first, right here at 70 flat. Right, so it started breaking structure on this time frame. This is more of like a 1 hour trend, 1 hour bearish trend, whereas this is the 4 hour trend here that we're looking at. 4 hour bullish trend, and this is like a 1 hour bearish trend, okay? So we broke the 1 hour bearish trend by breaking this lower high, and then this section again as well, all throughout here right at 70 flat. I'm gonna get that label tool. I'm sorry, 70.5. Okay, we broke through there, right? We were then bullish until we saw transition, break of a higher low, which happened right here. Now we're 1 hour, on the 1 hour, we're bearish again. Right now it's pulling back, giving us another retest of this, potentially another lower high, then a drop. So this, let's see what needs to happen for us to go short here. Just kind of marking off all these zones, all the significant zones here. So like these are 1 hour zones, these tiny zones here. You know, this is more of a 4 hour zone. You know, this is 1 hour structure, this zone here. So I'm just kind of lining this off, figuring out where the trend is. And overall, we're still very much bullish here. So right, this is our final higher low down here. Right, so ideally we need to see a break of this to go short and play into that daily move. Okay, so now you could get a potential, you know, 4 hour move here if we see this happen. So just for short-term trade opportunities, this is what you really want to see. Okay, so I want to see a reversal here. I want to see this area reject. I need to see a lower high. I want to see a push back through structure here to a low, and then enter on a lower high below 70.5. Okay, so this is what we need to see for us to get into a, you know, high probability conservative trade. I want to see a lower high below 70.5. So now what this says to me is that this is a strong 1 hour bearish trend if this happens, right? And now we're starting to break some 4 hour levels. Okay, we're starting to break this set of lower highs here. These lower highs which were broken. We're looking to get back below this zone here, this support, 70.5. Looking to exceed through a lower low, which shows that this is a nice, you know, this trend has nice momentum. And then we're entering on a lower high, targeting lower. So that's just riding this 1 hour trend. And then we're looking for a transition of the 4 hour trend down here. So in order to see a change of a bullish trend, we need a higher low to break, right? So that's this right here. This 4 hour higher low is what we need to see to break to confirm a 4 hour transition. So like this. And this is how we're going to set this up, and this is how we're going to manage this trade as we see it develop. Okay, so for this 4-hour transition to happen, we need to see the 1-hour transition happen first. Okay, so you could potentially enter on this twice. Okay, and then we'll target lower. So I'm going to go ahead and draw this. He's selling the short position tool. Looking to enter here. Stop loss is going to be above that lower high, or the lower high that will then form right here. We're looking to get at least 2 to 1. So at max, stop loss is going to be 72, 70 pips roughly, and you're targeting 140 down towards this higher low. Okay, so that's a good trade, 2 to 1, fits our rules. Could be a great opportunity if we see the right confirmations. Okay, so that's the first step. Looking for a lower high here, a break of this structure zone back below 70.5, and then look for a confirmed lower high below 70.5, and then we're in. Right, we're targeting towards our 4-hour high or low, and then we're looking for the same thing on that 4-hour trend, or this 4-hour time frame. We're looking for that exact same thing here. Is a break and retest, enter on a confirmed lower high below this zone. Let me put that there first. Get this label tool out. Looking for a break and retest of 69 flat. Okay, pretty much the same thing, 70 pips, but your TP is going to be much lower, much lower towards major support, which would be this right here. Okay, so well into almost 300 pips. They're about looking at 4 to 1. So this is how we would prefer this to go, right? We want to resume the overall daily bearish trend. Okay, and we need to see this 4-hour bullish trend break first, and then again this 1-hour bearish trend to continue. So it's like a domino effect. So we want to see the 1-hour trend continue bearish, right? Get some lower highs, confirming that this is a strong trend on the 1-hour. We could enter on that. Then we want to see a 4-hour transition from this bullish trend to a bearish trend. That's step 2, and then we're shorting on lower highs, retesting that broken support at testing as resistance. Okay, so yeah, again, like a domino effect. First you need to see the 1-hour transition, then the 4-hour transition, and both which we'll be entering on confirm lower highs. All right, so let's go back to the daily time frame just to see if this makes sense. I mean, that's all we can do right now. There is no trade opportunity at the current moment, so we're just going to check our work, see if this makes sense. If we see a reversal from here, right, we're looking to make our way lower. Okay, that seems pretty good, right? This should just be resuming the trend, resuming the overall trend here and maintaining this bearish channel. Okay, I think we have good targets, risk rewards there. The setups will be there. Just gonna wait for the right confirmation. All right, guys, so this has been a full chart breakdown on NZDJPY, and I will see you guys in the next one.